Hi, my name is Neb Kamusen Atumre. This is the 6th video in this Black History series, Jesus Found in Egypt. The real Jesus. When I say the real Jesus, Isa, Yashua, I am referring to the Yashua of 2,000 years ago, the son of Mary, 6 BC through 90 AD, and the Holy Ghost. The Jesus, the Hebrew of the Israelite tribe of Judah, the great rabbi, the adopted son of Joseph, 38 BC to 29 AD, the carpenter. He was born on June 26, 780. Sadly, most modern-day Christians think that Yeshua was born on December 25th, a date established by Pope Julius Clement, born 1443 AD and died 1513 AD, in order to cover up a pagan holiday of Mithrash or Maitreya, the sun god, in the year 349 AD. It became believable that Jesus was born on December 25th, a winter month. However, the mere fact that the shepherds were outdoors in the fields tending their flocks, which they only did in the summer, confirmed the real Yeshua, son of Miriam, was born in the summer. Yeshua was born during the high point of the summer solstice, from June 21st to the highest point, which is June 23rd to June 26th. Further evidence that the shepherds would be grazing in the field during the summer is found in Luke 2, 8, 12, and 15. The real Jesus was born in the summer of June 26th, in the year 780, in the manger in the town of Bethlehem of Judea, Matthew 2:1, as it says in Luke 2:12, "And this shall be a sign unto you, ye shall find a babe wrapped in swaddling clothes, lying in a manger." So this quote refers to the real Yeshua as a babe, a newborn, and according to the online Bible dictionary, the Greek word being used here is brephos, meaning an unborn child, embryo, fetus, or a newborn child, an infant. 8 days after Yeshua's birth, according to Judean law, he was circumcised, Luke 2:21. This is why it is so easy to accept that the child Yeshua was in a manger, an inn or stall, but the wise men were not there at his birth. The shepherds were there at Yeshua's birth. The weather being summer was more compassionate to their conditions of not being able to find proper dwellings in Bethlehem of Judea. However, we know that December 25th could not possibly be the birth date of the real Yeshua by Miriam, Jesus, son of Mary. The fact is, by the time the wise men saw Yeshua, he was 2 years old. Each of the wise men were coming from far distances to see the Messiah Yeshua. Noble Melchior, 54 BC to 66 AD, was from Midian, Arabia. Noble Balthazar, 45 BC to 49 AD, was from Ethiopia, Cush. And Noble Jasper, 35 BC to 51 AD, was from Persia, Media. If you compare Luke 2:12, when Yeshua was born in a manger, and according to the online Bible, the Greek word for manger, strong, number 5336, is fattening, and it means stall, manger, or crib. And in Matthew 2:11, when the wise men came to Jesus' house, then you will clearly see the difference. Now, if you look at Matthew 2:11, where it says, "And they will come into the house, they saw the young child and Mary his mother, and fell down and worshipped him. And when they had opened their treasures, they presented him with gifts, gold, frankincense, and myrrh." First, they give gifts to him. You wouldn't give an infant gifts, but a 2-year-old, you would. Then the Greek word used for young child, according to the online Bible dictionary, is A.D.and, meaning a little child of more advanced age, a more mature child. Now remember, the Greek word for babe in Luke 2:21 is brephos, meaning infant, as mentioned earlier. So by then Yeshua and his family were no longer in a stall, but rather, as it says in Matthew chapter 2, they were in a house. And according to Online Bible, the Greek word for house, strong number 3614, is oikia, meaning a house, a household, a dwelling. As you can see for yourself, there are two different words for house and manger, but the same Greek language. Manger or stall is fatni, and house or home, family dwelling, is oikia. God does not make mistakes. And Bishop Clement of the Coptic Church, the Coptic Christian Church in Egypt, established the date of the arrival of the wise men to be November the 9th, November the 18th, 980, in the winter. Also, please note that in the book of Luke 2:8, Jesus was born in a manger, and in the book of Matthew 2:11, Jesus was in a house. So this is obviously two different time periods, and this also explains the phenomenon of a babe speaking from the cradle, as mentioned in the Nobles Quran 1929, which says, "So she, Mary, pointed to him, Jesus. They said, how can we speak to one at that time which is still an infant in the cradle? We know that a 2-year-old can talk." Also in Jeremiah 1:6-7, it says, "Then said I, Lord God, behold, I cannot speak, for I am a child. But the Lord said unto me, Say not, I am a child. For thou shalt go to all that I shall send thee, and whatever I command thee, thou shalt speak." Then at 2 years old, Yashua, son of Miriam, left for Egypt in 980. He stayed in Egypt for 10 years until Herod's death, and came back to Jerusalem around 1980. That would make Yeshua 12 years old when he returned to Jerusalem from Egypt, Matthew 2:15. Yeshua was then moved to Galilee, and from Galilee is where he started his mission, studying as a carpenter under Joseph, who was from Nazareth. So many people called Jesus a Nazarene. When he reached 13 years old of age, he had his bar mitzvah, where he was declared a man. After which he started studying with priests called cantors and rabbis. They found that Egyptian magi had influenced him. They called him Hiru. In Egypt, the Greeks called him Horus, which became Huyus, son. By the time Yeshua was in his late teens, around 19 years old, which would be 2680, he was invited to be inducted in the order of Melchizedek, Hebrews 6:20, taught by the Qumrandians of Jordan, called the Essenes. There he encountered his cousin John the Baptist, who baptized all of the tribe of Judah in Jerusalem. That was their holy seed. Ezra 2:59-62 and Ezra 9:1-2. The wise men were made aware that once they reached the city of Midian, another sign would be given to guide them to Yeshua. Make note that from Ethiopia to Midian is 600 miles, and the journey from Persia to Midian was 650 miles. So they were on a long journey indeed. These were original Shriners, sons of the desert night skies, the ancient mystic order of Melchizedek, Hebrews 7:1. And Jesus was after the order of Melchizedek, Hebrews 5:5-10. During that time, people traveled by camel or donkey across the hot, burning sands of the desert, or they traveled by night through the desert, but you had to know the stars. This is a very important fact when reading the Bible, because many people forget that when you travel, you had to travel from one city to the next. During biblical times, you rode animals, not cars, motorbikes, or airplanes. If you could not afford a camel, you rode a donkey. And when crossing the desert, you traveled in a caravan. So remember that all of this traveling took place. That took place didn't happen in a matter of days or even weeks in some cases, but months and even years. When the wise men, the Shriners, the real Shriners, arrived in Midian, they met noble Melchior, who was watching the skies for the next sign of after the third planetary conjunction. The star that they saw was the signal of the birth of Yashua. It was at this sighting that the wise men knew to make their way to Jerusalem, which was approximately 525 miles away. So it is clear that when the wise men saw Herod, they did not know the whereabouts of Yeshua. When he was a baby, his parents had to take him to Egypt to keep him from being killed by Herod, the then ruler of Judea. It troubled Herod and all of Judea, for they feared that Yeshua would eventually take his throne. Matthew 2:3. Note, when Herod the king heard these things, he was troubled, and all of Jerusalem with him. Most people don't want to follow Yeshua since he is too strict, and they don't want to keep the laws of Moses, as Yeshua told them in John 1:17, John 7:23, John 17:19, Mark 7:10, and Luke 2:22. So they find alternatives like Paul. When you look into Paul's genealogy, you find out he is not of the holy seed. The book of Ezra points this out. If Israelites mixed their seed with other than the seed of Israel, they were rejected, as explained in Ezra 2:59 through 62. How the Israelites tried to get registered and were turned away because their genealogy was polluted. Their genealogy was polluted because they mixed their holy seed with the cursed seed of Canaanite, Caucasian beastmen. Genesis 9:25. Disobeying the laws of Genesis 24:3 and Genesis 28:1, not to take a Canaanite wife. As a result of their disobedience, they were rejected, as it says in Ezra 1 and 2. So according to the scriptures, not Melchizedek, Dr. Malachi Ziyok, you see, Dr. Malachi Ziyok, or Isa el-Hadi el-Mahdi, has the knowledge of Furqan, which is the ability to differentiate between the allegorical, the symbolic portions, and the decisive, the literal portions of the scriptures, and the Baina, the ability to marry the scriptures, which he uses in helping us to understand. So the scriptures say it is an abomination to mix your seed with the Canaanite, Caucasian beastmen who were Sodomites and Gomorrahites. Genesis 19:15 through 19. And take strange wives and husbands. Ezra 10:10 through 12. And their strange gods. Joshua 24:20. The Gentiles were not of the pure or holy seed. And Galatians 3:13 and 14, Paul actually tries to tie the Gentiles, which includes himself, into Abraham's seed. Yeshua made it clear that he was not interested in all other tribes of people during that time, but only the lost sheep of the house of Israel. That is why the Caucasian, Jebusites, Jews, or Druze of today hate Yeshua, Jesus, so much and blasphemes him and his mother. Jesus or Yeshua called them lying, blasphemous synagogues of Satan, who claim to be of the tribe of Yehuda or Judah, and they are not. Revelation 2:9. The remnants of the tribe of Judah are Dan and Judah, who were not a part of the Israelites Babylonian captivity of 605 BC, which lasted for a period of 70 years. Dan and Judah, Yehuda, had migrated to Africa. Some other tribes, such as Benjamin and Dinah, also escaped by following Dan, which means judge, and Judah, which means guide, south. Benjamin or Benjamin stayed in the north and became Yemen, which is from where the country received its name. Benjamin simply means Ben, son, Yamin, right hand, son of the right hand. They settled in Senna. And the Lemba tribe, Nubians, proves this. The Lemba tribe goes back to the Levite tribe of priests. They called themselves Judah, but were also called Luba or Buba, B-H-U-B-A, and are also native of the Congo. Dan and Judah, Yehuda, had moved further into Africa, into the Sahel, Sudan. Dan also became known as Danakil. Yehuda, Judah, also continued on into the Sudan and became known as the Hadendawa, master people, the Fuzzy Wuzzy, and the Bija tribes, Dongola or Dongolawi. Both of these tribes together moved into Nubia, Lower Africa, Lower Egypt, and the mixture of both tribes became known as the tribes of Judah that stayed in Aksum, Kush, or what is called Ethiopia. Only the secret order, the ancient mystic order of Melchizedek, the Holy Seed, knew the real name of the Most High and how and when to use it. They were from the original Negroid seeds called Moors, the Holy Seed from Seth to Enoch to Noah to Haran to Nahor to Terah, on down to the Lemba of the Congo, the Falashhar of Ethiopia, and the Hadendawa, Bija, or Dongolawi of Sudan. Be fooled no more by these lying devils, whom the Holy Quran calls El Maghdubi, Holy Quran 1:7, which means those with a curse upon them. And Holy Quran 20:102 calls Zurqan, the guilty, blue-eyed Halabians, Flugorods. Thus ends today's video. We hope you learned something from this video, and we urge you to share this video and to subscribe to the only channel where you will learn true ancient Egyptian mysteries. No more lies, no more guesswork. So share, subscribe, click the like button below. See you at the next video.